thought I didn't have any choice. Murder, adultery, stealing. Hey, I'm 8 years old. Honor thy father and mother. Okay, we do have a lot of fertile territory there. I hated taking out the garbage. Then there was this coveting your neighbor's wife and goods. Our neighbors were Wally and Rose Fredericks. Wally was a burly landscaper who scared the shit out of me, and I was afraid to even touch his fence without permission, let alone take his goods. And his wife, Rose, a lovely lady in her 60s, made the most incredible chocolate chip cookies. But don't worry, Wally, I'm not going to be coveting your wife anytime soon. Yes, I'm only 8 years old. So we're all told by the nuns to gather a list of our sins, then we can go over to church and one by one go into a dark closet on the side, kneel down, and tell the old guy who's breathing heavily on the other side of the cloth screen everything bad that we've done. Now at our church, St. John de Nepomuk, we had the choice of 2 closets, i.e. confessionals. There was the good and there was the bad and ugly. The good was Father Huff, a bit younger and very understanding. The bad and ugly was the pastor, Father Wanzer, really old, grumpy, and hard of hearing. The nuns were in the front of church acting as traffic cops, directing the students to the confessionals as the overhead blinking lights indicated a vacancy. Luck of the draw, I got the pastor. Bless me, Father. I had bad thoughts 40 times. You had what? Bad thoughts. How many times? 40. After the Inquisition, I slink out of the confessional, soaking wet and embarrassed, and slump into the pew to say my penance. I wasn't even finished with my second of 3 Our Fathers, let alone my 7 Hail Marys, when I saw Judy Augustini in line for the confessional. The sunlight was streaming through the stained glass windows. It lit up her face and her bright white blouse and tartan plaid skirt. Oh, geez. I think these might be bad thoughts. I should get back in line. Have a good night, everyone.
Oh, golly, thank you for bringing us to the Catholic experience, Sandy, on this Good Friday and reminding us that it is indeed Good Friday. I remember growing up going to Mass, and what always confused me, among many, many things of that whole show, was that, oh, I should turn off my phone, was that when it was time for, like, you know, peace be with you, I always thought everyone sounded so grumpy. You know, the priest would say, peace be with you. And the whole parish would go, and also with you. And I thought, even as a kid, like, he just offered us peace. Why do you sound like you hate him so much? Peace be with you. And also with you. You know, Father, you gave us peace last week. I still haven't used it. I haven't used the peace from Christmas. Please stop offering us peace. God damn it. Peace be with you. So anyway, thank you for bringing that memory back and for your experience, sharing your own experience, Sandy. Going into the hat, shakety, shakety, and, well, what are the chances of that? Angie D'Amato. And just,
hi.
Hi. You're on.
I'm on.
Yeah. Oh.
Hi. Sorry, I am so glad to be here. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody is well and cozy. I am thinking about my story during this virus, and I thought that I might put it to a song. So I want to share it with you to the tune of Patsy Cline's "Crazy," and originally written by who? Willie Nelson. And so it's a favorite of mine. And here goes. Oh, it's called COVID-19. COVID, formerly known as Corona, 19, worse than a 1 or a 2. Helpless, our world falls apart in a second, leaves us craving the one smartest man in the room. Homebound, no need to use an alarm clock. Up with the sun and the chirping birds too. Should I shower today or tomorrow? Shaving my legs can hold off till June. Mayberry, Hatfield feels like Mayberry. People are porch sitting having a few, and horses are grazing on lawns like a postcard. Is this a dream, or is that lady making a broom? Sharing. My marriage works well in a crisis. Deal is, he keeps me fed, I'll vacuum. Can't help it. I dream about dinner during breakfast. Damn you, Pavlov, now I'll salivate all afternoon. Oh no, I'm trapped near the cooler again at Big Y. Oh shit, was I touched? Oh God, heaven help me, I'm screwed. Oh, COVID-19, I don't want to get you inside me, but you are determined to make me somebody new. Mayberry, Hatfield feels just like Mayberry. Sandy says lunch, and I jump up with glee. Safe from the virus that looms all around me. Now I am thinking that Sandy's becoming NB. While I ride your wavy pandemic, it feels good to bite off less than I can chew. I'm sure, though, I'll type A right back to frenetic. And when I do that, I remember, in fact, that COVID-19 made the simpler things grander, and horses much happier too. Have a nice Easter, everybody.
Angie D'Amato, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you people at Goodstock Farm are very talented. Storytelling, songwriting, and gourmet chefery all day long. Thanks for flaunting that in our faces. But that's delightful. Thank you. See all the talents we're finding when we have so much time on our hands. I haven't gotten to broom making yet, but it's close. I'm making soap right now. All right, everyone. Ready for our next performer on the Hello You virtual stage screen. It is Indra Tracy, people. Whee! Remember to unmute her phone, Pam. Unmute her phone. The picture, the non-video participant. No, can't, no.
It's not letting me unmute her phone. I don't have control over that. Indra, do you have control over unmuting your phone?
She's trying. Looks like she's trying.
Okay, I will unmute everybody and see what happens.
That's enough.
All right, Indra, try it now.
Oh, here we go.
Soup
I'm
was
good
good,
now.
wasn't it? That's wonderful.
I,
I feel bad. I wish I could give this to Jacob.
I'm
He's been
unmuted
pregnant.
now.
Isaac drove down here.
Okay,
They
I
brought
go
it
through and
frozen.
mute everybody
Oh,
else out, whoever's talking.
He said it was so good when he had it.
Real good.
Then David stuff and in dry ice.
Really?
Buy dry ice or whatever.
Talking about dry ice.
There is. Oh, good.
There you go.
There's bread and there's also.
There's the challah.
Fuck, I'm so sorry. Trying. Indra, can it work? What? I don't know. Okay, can you hear me? The only way I can do it is if I unmute everybody, but then people have to be quiet.
On your birthday morning. So can you just
Everybody
warm it
should
up?
just mute themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody else
Trying to
should
get
mute
the
themselves.
leftovers.
I started to look up recipes with shredded chicken.
Who recognizes that voice? I can try just muting that person.
Something tomorrow with it.
Who's cooking? I
Did
can't
we
see.
ever buy mushrooms? Did we ever buy mushrooms?
I just saw.
Yeah, I sent them to your side. But I have some mushrooms here.
I have no
We
idea
have
what
bells,
that
but
is.
they
I'm
might be a
looking
little
at
tired.
everybody.
No lettuce, John? No,
You want lettuce or tomato?
no tomato, no lettuce, no mustard.
What?
No avocado?
It's Joanna Graves and Julie B are both unmuted. Joanna Graves and Julie B. Cavaco.
Julie's in a car by herself. All right,
Yeah,
how's
fine
that?
with that. Put it here.
Tomato with a spoon?
Looks
You want
like
pepper?
Jonathan Apple is also unmuted
Yeah.
and Valerie is unmuted.
I know, I keep doing it and they undo it.
Oh. Oh my God, it's quiet.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm deeply sorry. Scott's gonna do
Go.
this. I'm doing such a bad job that Scott's gonna have to do this.
Tell me when to go.
Go.
Okay. If you could see me, I've rigged a newspaper covering the screen because I don't want to see anybody's face while I'm doing this. Okay. So these days, I'm racking my brains trying to think of all the things I can use the pandemic as an excuse for not getting done. Like, I want to play this card while I can. But kidding aside, I think we all have pandemic fatigue, and I thought it would be nice to spend 5 minutes not talking about the elephant in the room. Just give it a break. There are so many other great things we can talk about, but I can't think of a single one. And I think it should be called Mr. COVID-19. I think it's only fair because women get all the hurricanes, so men should get the viruses. Last month, at first, I freaked out. I did. I imagined a post-apocalyptic scenario where roaming marauders were gonna break my door down to steal my stash of canned peas, I'm like, take them, because I'm so sick of tuna fish now. I just want to put it all in a free pile at the end of my driveway. I was frightened and I had to talk myself down from the cliff. So I thought, Indra, this is a time to think clearly. It's a time to act wisely. I asked myself, how can I be of service? How can I be useful? How can I best outwit the would-be marauders is actually what I thought. So I made a sign. Friends, I have COVID-19. My house is contaminated. Do not enter. Take care. But I thought, really, Indra? Contaminated all in caps? What's with the drama? And do not enter. Is that necessary? I'm like, no, it's not, because people aren't dummies. They can figure that out themselves, you know? I decided I was not being rational and I did not want to put that message out. So I did anyway, because just in case. I literally taped that sign to my door and I left it there for 2 days. And I had gotten myself into a heightened state of fear and I needed to address it because I was suffering. And I was also contributing to manifesting the dystopia that I was afraid of in the first place. So I too started meditating a lot. You know, I was meditating a lot and that's really fun, you know. I don't mean like, yay, fun, but like if yay used its indoor voice, subdued fun. And I was able to redirect myself to more useful things. Like I learned how to Zoom. You know, 3 weeks ago, I was like a country rube, and now I've entered the 21st century, and it's cool. And it's a great way to communicate until we have like a solar flare, and then we'll be back to using like a string in a can, you know, and I better rethink that fruit pile. Another good thing that's happening is across the globe, all of us have pulled together to focus on the same. Yeah, that's not true. Most of us have pulled together. That's not true either. Look, the point is more of us than usual have pulled together to focus on the same goal. We're having the same conversation. And I've never experienced that before. Like I grew up in Boston and I was never on the same page there. You know, I always sensed that I was marching to a slower drum beat. It was actually obvious to anyone within a 5-mile radius. It was like, look at the slowpoke, you know? I was like the kid at the carnival who was waiting for the ride to slow down and it wouldn't. So I wandered off and I got like some fried dough and a corn dog and I chased it with that pink fluffy stuff, cotton candy. And then I washed it down with a pink flavored Slurpee. And then I finished it off by going to the bathroom and throwing it all up because I'm sorry, but like at a time like that, that is just the right tool for the right job. Like, believe me, it has its place. I think it's really underrated. Anyway, another good thing that's happening is, anyway, so I came back to the ride. That's where I was, and it hadn't slowed down. So instead of trying to wait for it, I just bailed and I moved to Vermont to find a slower way of life, which I did not find because Vermonters are very busy people. And they do have rides there. It's called a tractor, duh. Anyway, those folks are logging, they're chopping firewood, they're growing organic gardens, they're homeschooling, they're keeping bees for crying out loud. Like I still couldn't keep pace. And then the world screeched to a halt. And for the first time, like I caught up to everybody and I really like it, honestly. It's like the merry-go-round finally stopped just long enough for me to jump on. And not to name drop, but I did run into John Lennon and he looks good. He cut his hair, he's like clean shaven and he is alive and well in metaphor land. Anyway, the point is that there is solidarity among us. You know, there's charities popping up. Landlords are forgiving rent. The owner of the Dallas Mavericks basketball team is paying all of his hourly workers out of his own pocket. And when I can focus on this generosity, the generosity in the moment, I'm very encouraged. And when this is in our rearview mirror and we can start to focus on the like simpler, easy tasks like climate change, I want to remember that it's possible for all, more of us than usual to pull together for a common goal. And so let's keep being good to each other.
Indra Tracy, ladies and gentlemen. Now, women get the hurricanes. Definitely let's give men a virus at the very least. That was so fantastic. Thank you, Indra. If you don't have your chat room open, open it up, people, all the performers, you'll see all the love. In the interest of time, we've got, how many do we have? We had 1, 2, that was, oh, this, was that 1, 2, and we had 4 or 5. I'm so confused. We've done 4, right? 4, Kim, Sandy, Angie, Indra. All right, so we have 2. We got to keep it going so that we can have our 8 o'clock live at HVC. So please welcome, well, hopefully she'll hear us, Joanne Graves with the holla. Hey.
Hi.
Joanne, welcome.
Thank you very much. Well, this is called 6 feet. 6 feet from womb to birth canal, to midwife's hands, to swaddling cloth, to mother's arms, to parent's heart, to love. 6 feet from crawler to stander, to defier of gravity, to unsure of feet, to tentative step, to another tentative step, to hands in the air with the laughter of I did it. First steps. 6 feet from backpack at the door to be slung over the left shoulder, to front steps, to the sidewalk with a stop to pet the dog's head, to mailbox, to the waiting neighborhood kids, to the yellow school bus, to teary eyes stepping up and teary eyes stepping back. 6 feet from the middle to each wall of the shared bedroom of a teenage girl and her kid sister. Shouts of, hands off my clothes, you little twerp, to she touched my makeup, to she won't be quiet, I have a test tomorrow, to come here, Fido, come to my bed, not to the twerp, to becoming good friends 6 feet and 20 years later. 6 feet from opening the door, to placing the key in the ignition, to adjusting the seat, to clicking the seatbelt, to checking the mirrors, to looking at dad trying to hide behind a nervous smile, to moving the gear shift into drive, to moving the right foot from the brake to the gas, to moving 6 feet, oh no, too quickly, and back to the brake. 6 feet from walking up the ramp to the spot in the alphabetically sorted line, to chemistry, to American literature, to algebra, to anthropology, to political science, to work study, to receive the rectangular frame diploma from the president of the school, to moving your tassel from right to left, to adulthood. 6 feet from bride and parents ready to walk down the aisle, to children carrying flowers and rings, to honor attendants, to groom, to officiant, to chapel altar, to a future together. 6 feet from the replaceable cog of a business, to coworker, to client, to meeting, to decisions made without worker input, to unlistened to feedback, to straightening up the workspace, to telling the picture of the dog, I'll take you out soon, buddy, to the locker for jacket and lunch bag, to the time clock, 6 feet more and 6 feet more and 6 feet more and so on and on until 6 feet to the door, home. 6 feet after school, 6 feet from after school and after work activities to the fridge, to the cupboard, to the countertop and stove, to mix and create, to serve dinner, to table, to grace, to stomach, to family all together at last. 6 feet from the hand sanitizer at the doorway to the privacy curtain, to the Jerry chair, to the ivy pole dripping morphine into a well-weathered hand, a hand thinned with thin skin with age, to the chest rising and falling without rhythm, to eyes closed nearly beholding death. 6 feet is the diameter of life. So many of our days have been measured in increments of 6 feet. 6 feet from left foot to right foot, 3 times each. 6 feet, no matter where you are on the floor or the grass or the pavement. 6 feet horizontal between you and me. 6 feet we now learn saves lives. 6 feet between us to delay life's last 6 feet. 6 feet vertical, 6 feet down. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Wow. Thank you, Joanne. That was beautiful. That was, I mean, Chip just wrote it. Great writing, Joanne. Beautiful. So, yeah, so necessary. Thank you for sharing that and bringing your ministerial insights and wisdom to our humble stage screen. So, let's bring up our final performer of the evening. But before I do, I just want to say I love being with you all in this way. If we can't be together, this is the next best thing. I mean, yeah, I guess it is because we can't be together, but then we can share with each other in this way. And it's been so necessary. During the day, I think I'm fine. I don't need anybody. I love homeschooling. But no, it's nice to be here with all of you and to see all your thumbnails. Okay, people, our final performer of the evening, please bring a warm comment to the chat box for Michelle Tallarico Strom, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
Good evening, everybody. It's nice to be here with everybody, like Kelsey said. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I am now a telecommuter. If you told me back in the 80s when I was just a wee thing that I would be telecommuting, you'd think it would be somebody from RoboCop that you'd be talking about. This is the wave of the future, though. I appreciate telecommuting. My breasts have never enjoyed this kind of freedom during the day. Unbelievable. I miss my coworkers, but my breasts miss not having plastic and cloth around them 24/7 either. Go out in the backyard, jump around. The landlord and lady are there. That's okay. It's that check that I put in the back door every month that says that I've got the freedom to let it go. Just letting you know. But let's get back to the point of missing my coworkers. I do miss my coworkers very, very much. And in fact, having this time without them has made me think about coworkers of the past. I lived in Chicago probably about 10 or 15 years ago, and I worked at Washburn Guitars as a collections representative. That was the worst because I would call to collect on guitars, and I'd have these older gentlemen in the South say things to me like, "You call me again, I'm gonna take you over my knee and give you a spanking." It's like, I'm pretty sure you can't say that to me, and we're on a recorded line. So there we go. But at this place, I also work closely with salesmen, and there's one salesman who happened to hold a special place in everybody's heart. And that salesman's name was Bart Alonzo, and he talked just like that. And Bart Alonzo called everybody sweetheart. A good friend of mine was the manager of customer service. And many a times he'd have a conversation with Bart Alonzo where he'd have to call. And Bart Alonzo would say, "Good morning, sweetheart." And he'd be like, "Bart, this makes me feel uncomfortable." I was on a call once with him and he's like, "Now watch, Bart's gonna call me sweetheart." I'm like, "He's not gonna call you sweetheart." Sure enough, he calls him and Bart answers, "Good morning, sweetheart. Can I help you?" And Mike's like, "All right, Bart, I need to ask you about this shipment." He's like, look, you don't have to ask any questions. You don't have to have any worries. You don't have to have any fears. Bart Alonzo made sure the shipment got there. "Yeah, but Bart, you weren't supposed to let the shipment go." "All right, let me tell you something, sweetheart. I gotta go to the bathroom. Hang up and I'll give you a call back about this in 30 minutes. And that would be the end of Bart Alonzo. But around the holidays, he was especially festive. He encouraged every female employee to have a seat on his lap. "I'm like Santa Claus. I'll make your wishes come true." Okay, Bart Alonzo. But he makes me appreciate the coworkers that I have now because they're all great and they're terrific and they deal with my hijinks. we have an instant messaging system at work, and my favorite thing to do when somebody is calling for help is to message back, new phone, who dis? Because nothing gets them confused more. That's it. That's all I have for you. Just wanted to share my musings on telecommuting. I hope y'all are safe and healthy, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
Talarico! Thank you, Michelle Talarico's from Tally to so many. Tal. Oh, guys, this has been a delight. Just a delight. Now, a couple of things before we go. Happier Valley has a YouTube channel that I hope you subscribe to, because it's got some really great stuff, and that's how you'll know when something new is up. This stuff will be up there. It's recorded and captured on YouTube. And so this will be there, and the previous one. The next one will be in another 2 weeks, friends. So April 24th. And there's also a GoFundMe going for, why is my thumb blue? Oh, voting. No, it's Good Friday. And what do you do in the Flynn family on Good Friday? Dye Easter eggs. That's why. Yeah, Pam put with her wizardry in the chat box the GoFundMe account for Happier Valley. They of course are we are of course our small business and can use all the support we can get in this time. So we love you. I love you. Love you. What? What? And I hope to see you in 2 more weeks. Live from HVC is happening in 11 minutes.